Hey, it's update time, and I'm also going to talk about some of the CPAP supplies, how my sleep apnea treatment's going, because it does affect what my goals are. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. This is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog. I just wanted to record a video to keep you updated, to let you know where I am in my process, uh, and also to do a little bit of a review of my sleep apnea treatment and a couple of masks that I've used. So first of all, if you've been watching my channel, you know I'm looking at making a career change. I'm looking at trying to go drive for Swift transportation. Um, One of the things that I know in doing my research is that sleep apnea um, is a big issue for truck drivers. It's a big issue for a lot of people, but truck drivers, veterans, uh, male adults over 40, um, large guys, they're most at risk. And if you look at that, with the exception of being a truck driver already, which I'm not, I sort of hit every one of the other ones. I'm a veteran. I'm over 40. I'm a good sized guy. I'm about 6'2". I weigh about 280 pounds. I'm a big guy. I'm not, so those kinds of things. Plus, in the past, I was diagnosed with sleep apnea about 20 years ago, but I wasn't able to treat it very effectively with the equipment at the time, and I'll explain that in a minute. So I wanted to make sure and get this out of the way ahead of time, and so if you've been watching, you know I got diagnosed through the VA with sleep apnea, and now I'm in the process of treating it. Well, how does that sort of roll into my goal? Well, um, most most companies, when you meet those requirements, they're going to want you to start treatment, and they want to want you to show that you've been doing that treatment. Most medical examiners, DOT medical examiners, when you go to get a med card, they're going to want to know that if you have sleep apnea, that it's being treated. Now, in calling around, I first asked I first asked some different medical examiners what I would need to show and how long a medical card I could get. And the answer I got was that with 30 days of compliance, I could get a 90-day medical card. And with 90 days of compliance, I could get up to a year medical card. So I got a hold of my recruiter, Autumn at Swift, and I asked her that question, if they would allow me to start with a 90-day medical card, because during the training, between the CDL training and the mentor training, I would have the 90 days and I could upgrade to a year. Well, what she said is they require at least a year, because it's just a little tight, and I understand that. Something goes wrong and it just messes up. So that was going to put me having to do 90 days of compliance, and I wouldn't be able to get out of here until almost the first of the year. And that wasn't something that I necessarily wanted to do. But what I did find out in my research is that there is no set rule or regulation that says that you can only get a one-year card showing 90 days compliance. It's up to the medical examiner. And depending on what you show the medical examiner, it's up to them. So I contacted a bunch of different medical examiners here, and I found one. I found a couple, actually, not just one, but I found one that I really liked, that said, absolutely, if you're showing that you're doing the treatment, you can show at least 30 days compliance, and you're serious about it, then he had no problem getting me a one-year card if I can pass all the rest. So that means that I can get my card, and that's going to save me about 2 months' time and get me, start on my journey around October, the 1st of October, instead of the 1st of December or the 1st of January. So so now I've got to do the compliance. So what does compliance mean? Well, compliance means that you're using, if you're given a CPAP machine or what's called a PAP machine, those are the positive air pressure. The CPAP, constant air pressure, the adjustable air pressure. There's a BiPAP that helps you breathe in and out. those kinds of things like that. If any of those you're using, you have to show compliance. And that means that you have to be using it at least 4 hours per night, at least 70% of the time. Now that's not a really big thing, especially as a truck driver. If you've got to take, 10 hour straight break, or even 8 hours in a bunk, only having to be using it half that time. If you really need it, I would hope you'd use it all the time that you're sleeping. But anyway, and 70% of the time, so that's, that leaves 30% of the time. If you look at that, that's almost, more than a week that you cannot be using it and still be compliant. So I don't understand how people don't get compliant with this. But so far, I know I've only been doing this for almost 2 weeks. And so far, I'm 100% compliant. The least amount of time I've used it has been about 6.5 hours, and as much as a little over 8.5 hours. And it's going pretty good. I'm feeling better. I'm not feeling as sleepy at the end of the day, and things are going pretty good. So I did want to share a couple things with you, though, because doing sort of a review kind of thing, I have tried a couple different masks. When I originally had a CPAP machine back in the 1990s, I had originally a full face mask, and then I had a nose mask that just fit over your nose. In the full face mask, I couldn't get it to seal right, and it made my face raw and everything like that. And because to try to get it to seal, I'd have to get it a certain way, and it was just a mess. Then they went with the nose mask, and then when I did that, the air just kept blowing out, because I guess I'm a mouth breather. It kept just blowing out my mouth, and I had to wear a chin strap to keep my mouth shut, so I could, so the air would go in so it could go where it was supposed to go. Although the reason I didn't use it is because it didn't go where it was supposed to go. It didn't go into and keep my airway open and go into my lungs. What it did is it went straight into my stomach, and it made me bloated, and the pressure was so high, I couldn't use it. I just couldn't use it. But the new stuff, I'm working on an APAP, because I guess my sleep apnea is not as bad as it used to be, but this is a lot better for me. But I wanted to show you a couple masks really quick, just to let you know. So I use the ResMed, one of the ResMed APAP machines, and I really like it. It's got a lot of great things, I want to say bells and whistles on it. Things have changed a lot. I mean, this thing's got a SD card in it. It's got cellular service, so they can check it remotely, they can adjust it remotely, all this kind of stuff. But this is the first mask that I used, and when originally they were going to give me what are called nasal pillows, and I'll talk about that in a second, but this was the first mask that I used because the person asked whether I was whether we were a nose breather or a mouth breather, and I said I thought I was a mouth breather based on part. So she said, you should try this. Well, this is the ResMed AirFit F20 full face. It's a large size. It's got this little swivel thing that goes in here. The hose connects to here, and you put this over your mouth. It's got the headgear here, and it's got little magnetic hooks to it to hook onto here. Excuse me. One of these days I'm going to get used to this, showing this stuff here. Anyway, but it's got all these hooks, and it fits pretty good, but it still leaks, especially if you have a beard like I do. It still leaks some. Now, somebody invented this thing called Remsies, which are these little, I'm going to come back here a little bit so you can see. I'm trying to get too close. It's a little piece of cotton kind of cloth, and what this does is it fits over the mask here, okay? It fits over the mask here, and it helps create a seal. You sort of pull this out, but it helps seal it somewhat. But I was still having some leaks, and I got a little, I won't say claustrophobic, but sometimes at night I just felt like it did feel a little claustrophobic. So the VA is really good, and I got a hold of the VA and I said, look, originally you were going to have me use these what are called nasal pillows, which I weren't around when I first used a CPAP machine. And I said, can I try those? Because they had told us at the training, excuse me, and they told us at the training that that if we didn't like the first mask they gave us during while we're getting used to it, we can try a different one. So that's what I got. I got these. This is the P10 nasal pillows, and it's hard to see just because of the light sort of here. But what this does is instead of covering your face, it just sort of sits right under your nose like this, and this head strap keeps it on there. Now, again, I'm a mouth breather, so they give you one of these little head straps, chin straps, that goes around your head, and it holds your jaw up and closed a little bit, so you're not breathing out through your mouth. So you can see this a little better. The light's a little bit better, but there's different sizes depending on the size of your nostrils and everything. I got a big old honking nose, so it's pretty good size, but it's a lot more comfortable, and it doesn't make you feel claustrophobic. The other thing that I realized is that this didn't it didn't leak the way the other one did, So I've been using this for about the past 5 nights, and I really like it. Now, it made my nose a little bit sore, and I tried a couple different kinds of sizes. But what I realized was the issue was that that I just didn't have it sitting right. I didn't have it sitting right on my nose, and I adjusted it like one night, and all of a sudden it got really comfortable, and it was fine. So that is the P10. I'm guessing P stands for pillow, F stands for full face, and the N one is the nose one, but I'm not going to try that one. But I've been able to do this for now for almost 2 weeks and not missed a night. I'm getting ready to go visit my mom in Gallup, and I'm going to take it with me. Make sure I don't want to miss a day, especially as I'm trying to get everything going and everything. I want to make sure that I've got this and that I'm doing it correctly. So so that's that. Now I'm studying for my tests that I have to take, the 3 tests, so I can get my commercial learner's permit or CLP. There's a lot of good resources with that as I go through, and once I get done, I'll share some of those with you. So hopefully those can help you out a little bit. But if you're not sleeping really well and you have the opportunity, especially if you're a veteran or you've got pretty good insurance, I would suggest that you go ahead and you try to get a sleep test done. With the VA especially, if they say you need something, they're going to take care of you. They're going to make sure that they take care of you and get you what you need. So that's what they've done for me. That's what I'm looking for, that I'm glad about, that I could get it done, so I don't have to go and be away from the VA and have to pay a lot of money out of my pocket, and some of the trucking companies that make you do this, if they'll pay part of it, but you're going to put out $1,500-$1,800 out of your pocket. This isn't going to be anything out of my pocket, so I'm really looking forward to it, to feeling the beneficial effects. They say about 3 weeks in, if you're using it consistently, you'll be shocked at how much more energy you have. And right now, I'm starting to feel it. So I'm looking forward to getting to that 3-week mark and seeing. If you have any questions about the testing or the CPAP machine or anything I can answer or the process I'm going through, please leave a comment below. Please subscribe. Click the bell to learn of any notifications. My goal with this channel is once I get through this initial process and I get to CDL school and get through mentor and everything, is just to continue following and so people can see what life is when you're starting. This is a 4th career for me, working for driving a truck and being able to see the country and and try something new. So so I hope you guys have a great week. I'll keep you updated anything that happens during the week. May record a video from when I get to Gallup, just to sort of let you know what's going on there. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful week again, and I will see you next time.